Here with me, I have Unicorn Lover. Good morning, hello. How are you doing?
I'm doing alright, it's only 3 a.m. Should be a very interesting match in Mexico versus Vietnam. Probably the two funnest names for me to say.
I mean, yeah, this match should theoretically be pretty close. Both of these teams are lower seeded. This is seed 27 versus 23, if I'm not incorrect on that. Which is quite low, but that should also make this match very close. Mexico has a few players you may recognize. It has Alvarachi, who's currently hosting their own tournament and has been pretty decent all around. And then on the other side you have Vietnam, which has Aurora Diu, who recently got his badge, got second place Core 6-2 a while ago, and then you have someone who has been dubbed the Hydrogen Bomb of 6-digit, Jerry Jumbo.
Did you say hydrogen bomb with 6-digit?
Yep, that is his actual nickname that's being used at 6-digit, and it is honestly accurate with the way he plays. So yeah, Jerry Jumbo probably just gonna get skill cap. He can kind of play everything, and I do feel like Vietnam is a little bit better off than Mexico is in this matchup, since they do have Aurora Diu, who's overall, I believe, just better. I mean, Aurora Diu is pretty good at kind of everything. He doesn't really have a weakness. He is their core player, and probably their perma lobby. The only weakness I think he has is like high AR, if even, although I'm not even sure on that one.
Just get higher fresh rate.
I mean, fair
Absolutely.
enough.
I feel like at times it can't be more true. But it also at times it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, Aura's still pretty good. I mean, his only weakness is like AR 10.3, realistically. I know he can play hard type pretty well. Would not be surprised if this was to go to the tiebreaker, honestly, because this does definitely seem like one of those matches.
It should be very interesting to see how both teams do want to actually get down here. I mean, a bit of the notes here. Basically, Vietnam looks to have a bit of a low AR weakness, but we may also see DT1 gone because both teams don't particularly look like they want to play anything that's high AR rated. So probably this DT1 will get banned, potentially hidden too.
Yeah, I mean, Mexico really does not like the high AR. Vietnam is a little bit better off, but I don't think they really have people for 10.3. Maybe if it was a little lower, they would have been able to play, but I do feel like DT1 is going to be one of the bans in this matchup. Just because of the AR, we could see something else that's just really fast, like maybe DT3 or something like Hard Rock 2, which are kind of hard to read if you're not comfortable on high AR, get banned. Although I'm not too sure on those, honestly.
I mean, I prefer to class anything AR 10 and under, not as high AR, because that's base no mod rates, but I mean, it really is kind of an individual player thing at the end of the day, because I mean, even for 6 digits, AR 10 can be really hard, but then also there's some that don't even think anything under 10.5 is high AR. It really depends on what type of like high AR reading abilities these players have. And DT2 will be protected.
Not too oh, they're supposed to DM the protect cell.
Yeah.
Brother, read the rules.
I mean, I don't think it's going to change what they protect.
Not really, no. Yeah, it's not gonna change anything, and we'll be seeing a DT2 protect on the side of Vietnam. Mexico protecting Hidden 3. Does make a bit of sense. I'm not too sure how good Mexico is on the Hiddens, personally, because I've not seen them on them yet, but Didn't Tree, as we've seen, is kind of more so going flippy. It can go really well, it can go very poorly. I do feel like Mexico has an advantage, as Vietnam doesn't really have hidden players as far as I know. They do have Aurora, they do have Cherry Jumbo, but I feel like that's everyone. I'm not sure if Cherry Jumbo isn't even skill capped at this star rating, honestly. So it could go either way. I do feel like Mexico has a better chance in their protect, and yeah, Vietnam DT2. Their team is pretty good on speed, not surprised by that at all.
It's time to abuse Nemod 5 and DT2.
I believe it is. Now, for bans, what I'm predicting, we already talked about the DT1 most likely getting banned because neither team wants to play that. I feel like that would be even more coin flippy than No Mod 1 is usually. We could be seeing something like No Mod 5 get banned from the side of Mexico, so maybe something like Hidden 2, Free Mod 2 from the side of Vietnam.
And granted, if both teams feel like none of them have a comfortable roster on DT1, it could actually be left open. And I have seen this type of strategy. I mean,
that is true.
Yeah, because I mean, I've known players that just basically decide not to ban Hidden 2 in a matchup where they know the other person can't play it because the other person wants them to ban it, but then they don't ban it because trying to force them to ban it and then go into the first pick as it can be such a mind game going into these type of bans, knowing when there's a pick that both sides are not going to really enjoy.
That's true, and that actually is a high possibility with the DT1. I'm just not sure what else there's really to ban, because it might just be like speed versus gimmick bans, if I'm being honest.
It could very well be. I mean, we are waiting a little bit for this ban, actually.
Yeah, they are taking their time here, thinking about what to ban, which is honestly understandable. This is one of the closer matches that we'll see.
When in doubt, just ban Nomad 1.
No burning star background music.
This one actually has a radio edit, which means
I know, I
need to know which country, which station. I have not been able to find this, and I need answers.
No, just waiting for Mexico.
I mean, they would obviously have to be thinking about DT1. I mean, if you look at their, if you're looking at their team stats, which I believe is based off skill issue,
yeah,
number 1 could also be a ban.
It very well could be if now they don't mention it. And they banned No Mod 5? That is honest. That's fair. That's fair. Because Vietnam is the better speed team overall, they want to get rid of the speed, and No Mod 5 ban makes absolute sense.
So I guess they're kind of hoping that Vietnam takes out the DT1 if they are thinking about banning it. It will be interesting to see what happens to it.
Yeah, I mean, Vietnam is a little better on the high AR. Maybe they want to keep the DT1 open just to get like a 50-50 point that they have a high chance of winning. That could very well be something else that's happening because I do feel like the DT1 is either that or it's just not getting picked. They could also ban Hidden 2. They could ban something like Free Mod 2, any of the other gimmickier maps. Could ban Hard Tracks 3, although I doubt it, because that map does... It sounds a little favor towards Vietnam, but could go either way.
I mean, obviously, Vietnam really taking their time, trying to think carefully what bans to go down.
Yeah, looking at these stats as well, both teams seem kind of just not really fond of aim, or really, it's Mexico on the speed, Vietnam on like reading.
It's a hard free. We came out, you know, understandable. Aim sucks.
True. Project Freeban makes sense. It is a very weird map to play, and if you just don't have a roster for it, whoever is filling kind of just dies on the map. So seeing it get banned, not surprised at all. I would have expected Mexico to ban it instead, since I feel Vietnam's better on it, but I don't know if Mexico's good at Hard Rock or not.
I mean, depends on what mindset Mexico has overall on Hard Rock. Because I feel like one thing that people forget is, unlike Double Time or Hidden, Hard Rock is effectively just no mod, just a little challenge. Besides from OD, which can be an absolutely hard challenge because OD 10 can kill.
Yeah, that is true. Either way, though, I would have thought that maybe Mexico bans Hard Rock 3 if anyone. Now I think Mexico bans DT3. Possibly they might just ban something else. They might ban No Mod 2, just because that's 200 VM stamina. Honestly, no clue. I feel like it's just tapping map getting banned. I don't know which one though.
I mean, obviously, from how long it's taking, they don't completely know what they want to really go down. And it will be Hidden 1.
That is not something I expected in the slightest. I was expecting something tapping heavy. This map's not tapping heavy. This is like the opposite of a tapping heavy map.
Well, I mean, if you expect them to ban Hard Rock 3, then Hidden 1 doesn't actually seem out of the question.
I mean, that's fair, but I feel like the maps play differently enough to where banning one doesn't mean you want to ban the other, but fair enough, I guess. That Hidden One does have a few patterns that you can easily choke on. Maybe it's just they're not comfortable on this specific Hidden One or something.
That does mean at the moment DT1 is going to be left open. I guess they're hoping that Vietnam will ban it. But it could just be forgotten for the whole match.
It could be, yeah. I mean, neither team really wants to go into DT1 unless they just want to do a coin flip.
I guess that's one nasty ban from Mexico.
You know, you can ban a low AR map. The Hidden 2 and Fremont 2 are both still in the ring. They could both get banned or something. I can see possibly something like No Mod 3. Like, just as a wild ban, maybe if they're just not comfortable on it. Hard Rock, Fremont. Yeah, low AR getting banned out. Vietnam's not the most comfortable on that type of stuff. Makes complete sense. And now Mexico will be getting the first pick of the match.
Yeah, I personally don't like seeing Fremont 2 bans, because that basically tells you that even in a Fremont standpoint, you don't feel comfortable, well, you're almost televising that you don't exactly have the best roster for precision or reading. And the fact that Hard Rock 2 and Hidden 2 are going to be left open here could be potential angles for Mexico.
Yeah, definitely. Mexico could take advantage of those maps being left open, especially the Hidden 2, since I know Vietnam has, like, they have Jerry and Aurora Du, who are both pretty good at Hard Rock. So I don't think Hard Rock 2 is going to be the issue. I feel like low AR is, and at that point Mexico can absolutely abuse the Hidden 2. And even the Hard Rock 2, to be fair, they could do very good on.
Yeah, Mexico will be able to have the chance to draw first blood in this match with the first pick. And they could just go straight into Hidden 3.
I mean, yeah, they could. I wouldn't be too surprised if they did. We've seen it a lot that close matches get their protect pick first just to get the points on the board.
And there it is. Hidden 3 will be the first pick of this match.
Going straight into your Protect, not sure how I feel about it. I have expressed my dislike for picking a Protect this early in previous matches as well. Because I feel like it's more of a showstopper, just momentum stop for the other team whenever you need it, but I guess they might just want to get the point on the board and see how DT2 goes later on.
I mean, I do kind of don't like the idea of having to protect as a first pick, because, I mean, at the end of the day, ideally the protect is a guaranteed win for your team. It's the reason why you protect in the first place. So I really don't know how I feel about that, because if you have to stretch straight into it first...
I mean, to be fair, we did commentate earlier Russia match versus Hong Kong where they won each other's protects. So like, it's not a guaranteed win on your own protect, it's just whatever you think you're most comfortable on.
It's really funny when someone protects a speed map but you're both speed players.
Yeah, that is always very funny.
The question is, which players will be standing up here on this in free first map? Protect as well, so the pressure is really just all on Mexico here. First pick, protect. I mean, the first pick usually has to be your most confident, you have to be the most ready for it.
That might actually be why they're picking it this early, to just have that confidence to go into it and get the point here, so that they're not mental gapped later on. This map is very chokeable, it is just hidden flowing with sliders, which every single time we've seen this in a tournament match here, it has been choked by most people. I think we've only seen like 1 or 2 FCs on this. So going straight into it, Llama the Goat is going to be breaking the entire top row misses.
Yeah, the whole top row there. I mean, that is going to be very interesting. So this advantage is going to be on the side of Mexico, as it will be 2 full combos at 2-1 already, but it is very much early days.
Yeah, Mexico is taking a very early read. Llama the Goat misses once again. Vietnam losing a lot of combo to Mexico here.
Yeah, Llama the Goat is the only real difference here between the both teams. Then that whole top row basically all broke together at the same time. And it's just Ghost Apple on Vietnam for the FC. Llama the Goat again, Ghost Apple, and Indyman, Kevin, and Davey. So now it is one full combo to recover 2 recoveries, but then Chiliara, I probably mispronounced that horribly, and Jerry Jumbo will finding break, so it's just that one remaining combo on Vietnam here to carry it over.
Yeah, Aurora with the only combo in the lobby. Mexico got a full reset during this Ki. I am concerned for David's cursor. But yeah, Mexico not looking too comfortable anymore. Now that we're getting past the first Ki, Aurora with 600 combo here, no combo on anyone else besides David and Kevin. And it's just not looking good for Mexico here, as we're getting almost halfway into the map.
I'm just going to say, as a person who also shakes as violently like that, you learn to work with it. Yeah, He's going to basically reset on the movement here and get even worse on the shake. I mean, basically going to slowly start cursor dancing here. And Julio, I did find a break as well. But what we do notice is the fact that Mexico is still holding on to the lead, 1/3 of the map left. And Indyman is also seeing just a bit of shake there.
Yeah, with Aurora DMS and there's no combo on the side of Vietnam, and Mexico can now just take it. Chiliawa and Ghost Apple are going to be trading breaks, but Mexico's still in the lead. Kevin with almost 600 combo as well. And they will be extending their lead here to 115,000 score.
Yeah, so Kevin standing up strong here on this first map for Mexico. Definitely needed, especially with how the early days looked. And Llama the Goat finds another break. I mean, it's so funny seeing Shake from like Davey and just hitting this flow.
Yeah, no, despite the shake, he is still hitting it. He is still helping his team as much as he can, and he is allowing them to bring this back and make the score difference even bigger than it already is. But we see a
three-way.
Three-way on the side of Mexico. Jerry, Jumbo, RRD missing on the side of Vietnam. Kevin missing on the side of Mexico. But is there enough time for Llama and Ghost Apple to bring it back here?
There just wouldn't be enough time. Llama to go find the break there. Like, this was sealed basically when Davey, Chihuahua, and Kevin decided to hold on to their combos. I mean, granted, not a complete comfortable win for Mexico here on the Protect, but a win nonetheless.
Yeah, a win is a win. They did pretty good on the map. Vietnam didn't really have many openings to really get in and try to take the map from them. Only Aurora Dio's 800 combo was really a threat to Mexico. And with Kevin, Chiliawa, Davey, and Inimend matching it, it was just nothing that Vietnam could have done here.
But good news is, that was your team's to protect, so it doesn't matter that you lost it.
Yeah, Vietnam now can just kind of do anything. They could go DP2 to match the protects and just kind of reset the mental. They could go into something else if they don't want to use their protect yet. They could be saving it for later for when they need it most, but even then, I would think you kind of should pick it here just to match the points because Mexico could have a huge mental boost from that hidden spray.
I mean, look, if Davey is anyone like other players with Shake, it may not be another good 2 more maps before the cursor movement becomes stabled. So definitely trying to look at maps that could involve them. But yeah, DT2 is getting picked.
Yeah, this is somewhat expected. I'm not surprised that a Protect's getting picked this early, especially if you're matching the Protect from Mexico here. As now Vietnam has a chance to equalize it, get to the 1-1 situation, get rid of both Protects here, which if they do have a pretty good shot at beating Mexico on the Hard Rock and DT stuff.
I just have to mention, Dim Rain 47 song. Absolutely beautiful, peak cinema. We need more Dim Rain 47 songs in OSU tournaments.
That is true. I do have to agree.
And that is totally not any Geometry Dash bias speaking.
None at all, huh?
No, I totally don't have about 5,000 hours on that game.
Jesus Christ.
Which mainly came in 2 years.
Jesus. Yeah, no bias. Absolutely.
Yeah, none of the one. I mean, Vietnam sticking to their guns, just going straight into speed. And granted, they could probably go into DT3 as well.
Yeah, I do feel like DT3 is coming at some point. I don't think it's gonna be their second pick. I feel like second pick you can go into things like Noma 2, Noma 5. Actually, no, Noma 5 is banned, right? But Noma 2 is maybe something else that's tapping in the pool you could go into. I don't think DT3 is gonna be picked soon because I feel like you could just save that for later for when you need it. Just kinda as a second protect type map where you just pick it when you need to break momentum.
Why is there a Muffin playing? Since when did Muffins become sentient enough?
Who knows, man? You have a llama here as well.
Yeah, but the llama's already sentient.
Fair. Anyways, going into the DT2, score's gonna be flip-flopping here at the start, but Vietnam is gonna have a first break from Llama here, but the accuracy, keeping it somewhat equalized as Electro Strike, and Aaron are assessing. And Banjo, I believe, has broken itself.
Yeah, Banjo is going on strike. It wants more pay.
He owns the whole game, man. He gets enough. He gets more than enough pay already.
We actually may have had a disconnect here. Which I believe since it's before the first quarter of the map. Well, no, have not.
Nope. We just have to wait for it to catch up. Okay.
Let's go. Any minute. Just waiting.
No, there we go. I think we should be caught up very soon. No, hold on. One more second.
No, there's like still half of what needs to be caught up. This is peak Osu entertainment.
I know, right? I mean, it is just Bancho being Bancho and kind of, destroying itself. There we go.
All clients synced up. I mean, yeah. And even the
no, with
break.
the FC.
Mushroom also found a break as well. Yeah,
Actually,
Aaron and
we're seeing 2 FCs to 2 currently, as both David and Chiliaba are holding on the side of Mexico. Aaron breaks actually on the side of Vietnam. And now Radu and Electro Strike, the only combos. They are gonna have to fight off the 2 FCs. They have a higher accuracy overall though, so it is gonna be doable for them for a while here.
do you see the school lead does want to go over to Mexico here at the moment. Electro Strike finding a break is going to be pretty big. I mean, that is not what you need. And now you need a full combo from Mexico to find a break here.
Or even just the supporting combos, if they fall, it would be doable for Oradio and Llama here, but even then, it is just so hard. Chiliaba does find a break, Electro Strike chases, but that's fine. We are halfway through the map, 1 FC to 1, supporting combos from Llama, Inament, and Muffin here. The main combos from Aurora Dio and David into the slow section.
The question is, he will give way towards the end here. The schoolie hasn't gone out of reach for Vietnam yet. But honestly, Muffin and Iniment need to find a break here.
Yeah, it's just too much for Aurora and Llama to deal with on their own without the supporting combo from Aaron or Electro Strike. We're getting into the last streaming section. Electro Strike, Chiliaba, David, find break.
That is actually big.
That is massive as the score lead is moving towards Vietnam here. It is going to be incredibly
Take it back, yes. So can Llamas go. And Aaron, as they have the combos, is going to come back for it at the end here. And just taking it last second.
Let's not call it too early. This could flip instantly, but yes, it is going to go to Vietnam in the end. And they're going to be taking their Protect only by 20,000 score, which is not that much. That's not how little you want to see for a protected map.
Yeah, I mean, they pretty much had a lot of confidence going into it, but I think that's going to kind of, even though they won that, probably would have still kind of felt like a loss overall. You know, barely winning the pick on something that you would feel so confident on.
Hidden 2 instantly getting picked by Mexico, going into the gimmick abuse against Vietnam.
Let's go.
Seems like Mexico really wants those hidden maps in, as they're picking Hidden 3, protected it as well, now they're picking Hidden 2. I would expect possibly Fremod 1 is getting picked soon as well.
But why did they ban Hidden 1?
Could be some sort of weird comfortability issue. Hidden 1 is very different from the other hidden maps, to be fair, so I wouldn't be surprised, but it is still a little weird.
Yeah, you could have just had Hidden 3, Hidden 2, then Hidden 1 as pick order.
That is true. We'll see. We'll see what they have in store, what they have planned here. And now just waiting for the players to get readied up. This map I do feel like favors Mexico once again. Vietnam is not bad at reading, but they are definitely worse than Mexico here. If you look at the team stats, they are worse by almost a full point.
I wouldn't exactly say this is the most reading intensive Hither 2.
It's definitely not, but I do feel like if you just can't read Loyar, you do kind of just fall apart on this map. Especially accuracy-wise, because this map is really hard to get good accuracy on consistently. And also the middle slow section is, that's the hardest part of the map because it's so easy to randomly miss on that section.
Just learn the tap with your feet, the BPM of the song.
Even then, it can still be tricky, and if you can't read Loyar, I can see players getting tripped up by it.
Yeah, I mean, low hour is probably the most... probably mind-melting part of it.
And are we going to get
especially
into
on
the
that
map?
slow section. But yeah, especially on the slow section, you really have to, like, basically brace yourself and kind of be ready to kind of think about the timing of the BPM at that one section and then trying to compare when the offbeats on beats are.
Yeah, and we're getting into the map now. Mexico looking a little more comfortable looking at the accuracies. Cherry Jumbo and Electro Strike drop a lot at the start. Not gonna matter too much very early in the map here. No breaks so far. Hopefully that keeps up for a while from here. Accuracy has...
You do say, you know, early act drops, the start of the map doesn't matter too much. I mean, it's 2 minutes. They actually can matter a lot. But then there we go, Aurora and Anyman and Kevin finding breaks here. So it's going to be 3 to 2 on the full combos department, make that 3 to 1.
And this is looking really good for Vietnam here as going... Alvarachi misses as well on the slow section. And that is just no combo on the side of Mexico here as Vietnam has the 3 FCs. Really good accuracy from Aurora D that's allowing him to keep up with his teammates here. Iniman breaks once more. Mexico doesn't have combo to keep up with Vietnam at all, and Vietnam maybe taking a breakpoint here as they look really comfortable on a map that we thought they were bad on.
I mean, I guess that's the view, but there you go, Ghost Apple and Jerry Jumbo will find breaks. I mean, still Electro Strike and Aurora.
Yeah, it is still very much in favor of Vietnam here despite those breaks, as Mexico doesn't have the combo to really combat Aurora and Electro Strike here. Especially with the accuracies all being around 93% besides Kevin, and yeah, Vietnam is putting up one hell of a fight on this map. Mexico trying their best, but it's just not enough.
Look, sometimes not everything goes as planned. I mean, that's where you just have to look at yourself and just go, you know what? It didn't go to plan. It's not all bad news at the end of the day because you can still come back, you can reset, and just play the next map. Because the key to winning this is clicking the next circle.
That is very true. Mexico, despite losing a breakpoint here, by a lot actually, 600,000 score difference, they do still have a chance to come back from this. Vietnam is on the front foot now. They do have a lot of picks they can go into to kind of be safe, comfortable, get that 3rd point. But after that, it's going to get a little dicey as they start running out of tapping and gimmick maps to really go into.
So now, where does Vietnam go?
They can go DT3, they can go no mod 2. I feel like they go into the tapping as much as they can here. Just as long as they have something, as they have the momentum. They could also just surprise us and go into something unexpected like Hard Rock 1, Hard Rock 2.
No, they're gonna surprise us and go no mod 4.
Yeah, no mod 4. Yeah, they go into DT3, staying with the basics, going into the tapping. Not gonna have anything complicated here, just finger control DT, as they should. No, I don't think Mexico's completely lost. They did put up one hell of a fight on the DT2 as well, almost managing to actually win it if they didn't have a few unlucky breaks near the ending. But even then, it is just unfortunate that it's big at this moment. They did just lose their hidden 2. So it is going to be hard for Mexico to come back, but it is doable, and I feel like they have the chance to do it if they just try their best here and move on from the hidden 2 loss.
I mean, look, it's also 20 BP. It's also like 20 BPM slower, and it is more finger control than it is complete speed. But really, the question is, how well will Mexico adjust to the finger control elements? Because if they adjust well, they can definitely take this off Vietnam.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I don't think... I mean, Vietnam is really good at this type of stuff, but it does feel like Vietnam is just choking left and right on every map. So I do feel like Mexico has the chance here to take this breakpoint as well, and if they do, that is going to be a huge blow to Vietnam's mental as well, because this is a map that we've been talking about as a pretty confident win for Vietnam so far.
And it really does depend on how they do pick themselves mentally on this. I mean, obviously they're with us and do believe that this should still be a good map. And they are looking for it to be the map that basically gives them the breakpoint advantage and solidifies it. And we'll be on the way.
Starting with the map now, Not a Devil featuring Hatsune Miku, DT finger control. We have David Muffin, Shiliava, and Kevin. Same roster as DT2 from Mexico versus Electro Strike, Llama, Arn, and Auradiu, which I believe is the same roster as their DT2 as well. We will be seeing a first break from Shiliava. This map's not the longest in the world. That could matter a bunch if the other players just hold their combos. Aaron does trade it though.
I mean, on these shorter maps, I mean, there you go, Aurora and Davey are going to find breaks as well. But honestly, the thing to remember about these shorter maps, as far as the score lead grows, is how far it goes back. And so we'll find another break.
This is still so close though, with the full combos from both sides. 2 full combos on the side of Vietnam, 3 on the side of Mexico. Almost 3. It's looking really bleak for the side of Vietnam, as I believe Mexico, if they keep on holding, they will be able to bring this over to their side and just get the breakpoint right back after the hidden 2.
And Davey is the only real consistent one that's breaking on the side of Mexico. Aurora and Kevin will now find Bray.
That is very beneficial for Vietnam here, as the Kevin was the one with combo, already wasn't, and Arn, there is a quad break on the board, Electro Strike David, Kevin, and Arn, but Llama
this is not good for Mexico. Will it go over enough in time? It should, yes it will.
Yes, Llama
Mexico will be taking this, so it will be both teams opening up, winning their protects, and then winning breakpoints. So it looks like we will have a match.
Yeah, this is definitely looking like a close match as both teams take their breakpoints. Both teams are now 2-2. Somewhat mentally reset, won their protects, lost their own first picks after protects. And now Mexico is the one that's going to be picking. I'm not too sure what Mexico picks here, because they did just win the finger control map. They could go into more finger control if they really want to. Which I'm not too sure what else in this pool is finger control besides DT3. They might go into Nomad 2, but I don't feel like that's that good of an idea.
I mean, I guess you could go into Alt, because it does share. It's definitely probably I'd consider a derivative skill of finger control.
That is true. I'm not so sure how good Mexico is gonna be on the lower BPMs though.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
That is true. And we're now just waiting for Mexico to do their pick. Noma too!
So this is a pick that you called for Vietnam, and Mexico are going to take it.
To be fair, I did also say DP3 is mostly free for Vietnam, and then they lost the point. So I don't think my judgment on this match is exactly on point as it should be.
Oh, you hear it here. Commentators are not always correct.
Yeah. I mean, I do expect this map to be something that like Aurora Du can play, because Aurora Du, when he plays tournaments, his main things are tapping and speed. And even though he's not been performing, I do feel like Noma 2 is one of his best maps that he can play. So we might see an FC on this if I'm being honest. Whether that's from Mexico and some of their players or from Vietnam is a really good question that'll get answered as we play.
Yeah. Honestly, maybe it's just an angle of that they think they may just have their major stamina. Yeah, they may edge out on the stamina factor.
I mean, yeah, it is 3 minutes of just raw 200 BPM stamina that's just so unforgiving to anyone who can't play it perfectly.
I mean, number twos, especially coming towards all these higher end 5s in tournaments, do end up reading real stamina tests. And I mean, I have to say, since Jerry Jumbo is considered a 6-digit hydrogen bomb, this could be something they may not be stepping in, considering like the jump of No Mod 2s from 5.8 stars to 6-star pools can feel sometimes so big just because of the class of maps that are in those star ratings.
Yeah, that is true. I do feel like Jerry Jumbo is mostly getting skill capped on this pool, if I'm being honest. That's why he's not been in so much. We are seeing Llama, Electro Strike, Pukipoi for the first time. Pukipoi, I think that's the correct pronunciation, and Aurora coming in for the side of Vietnam.
I'd say, I would be saying Hockey Boy.
Yeah, I don't know how to read that, I apologize. Llama first break on the map, not looking too comfortable with their accuracy either.
And Mizzen19 will also be stepping in. We'll find a break there as well. I mean, yeah, it really seems like we are going to see a few breaks there from Kevin, Mizzen, and fucking Upoi. And Davey.
Electro Strike trades that, and now Aurora Du Muffin both on the FCs. Llama built up 300 combo as support to Aurora Du here. As Vietnam does bring the point over to their side for now. They are extending their lead slowly but surely. Aurora Du looking really comfortable on the map. Same goes for Muffin. David, Kevin, Mizan have built up their supporting combos. Electro Strike, Pucky Boy on that support as well. And Vietnam's lead is slowly but surely increasing every minute, every second.
I mean, sometimes you don't need to force open a win. Sometimes you can just build it slowly and steadily. But Electro Strike finding the break will not exactly be the best news for Vietnam, as that score lead is going to start going over to Mexico. But Mizzen finding a break, and Kevin. That is 2 breaks in a pretty short span, halfway through the map. I mean, what looked like could have gone back over to Mexico is now going to be firmly in the hands of Vietnam again. And Llama the God and Aurora Du are just gonna carry this pretty much. Pucky Boy as well, gonna have a say in it. And Davey finally on the break.
We are still seeing Muffin on the FC though, and if Aurora Du and Llama were to break, Muffin can absolutely start bringing it back over to Mexico just on his own. That is if he can hold, and if Aurora Du and Llama break, which they don't seem to be doing, as they are just looking really comfortable on the map so far.
Yeah, that's kind of the fact of these Memo 2s. I really feel like it's probably the one map that definitely stays FCable throughout the entire tournament.
Yeah,
And
it's kind of similar to the no mod ones where you can it's just always FCable for at least one person on the teams, and as we're watching there is still that double FC from Aurora and Muffin going on. Llama just choking at the beginning.
I'm on the break that this might be enough time. Davey play another one. So Aurora and Muffin are just gonna pretty much try and close their FCs here. And you just have to ask, what was the thought process here for Mexico?
I mean, we did just talk about how you can randomly FC or randomly miss, how Nomad 2 can be similar to the Nomad ones in this case. Muffin
Will not
breaks
be
his
FC.
FC. Was that on the last note? That was on the last... Okay, that was not on the last note, I think, on the last one of the fours. But that is mighty unfortunate to break an FC like that.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't feel good as well.
That was a pretty close map, though. Mexico did put up quite a fight. They do have some really decent scores. It's just that Llama and Aurora D managed to just fight them off so well with those scores. Pucky Boy and Electro Strike as well with really good scores. And Vietnam is going to be taking the point, taking yet another breakpoint and is now picking their own map. Could go into the tapping once more. They could go into something like Hard Rock 2 if they want to. Feel like that might be one of their better options, as the Hard Rock 2 this round is just 200 BPM tapping.
Definitely not a bad shout at all. I mean, you've been winning mainly with tapping picks aside from that BP3.
Noma 3 pick. Interesting pick after losing Hidden 3, which was also somewhat ulti. This map is very different. It does have some like cut stream like ult patterns. It has a bit of snap ult as well. Could be just a comfortability pick because I don't... Besides like Hard Rock 2 maybe, I don't feel like there's any comfortable picks for either team if I'm being honest.
I mean, you do say that they did lose the Hidden 3, but I mean, the Hidden 2 also had plenty of flow in it.
That is true.
So maybe it could just be... It could be a BPM thing, or it could just be the fact that it's the BPM plus the hidden on top of it is what makes it harder for Vietnam here.
You know, at this point, I think I'm kind of giving up on predicting who's gonna win. This match has subverted all of my expectations and punished me for thinking anything. As the second round of picks went completely out of the window of what I was expecting. Nomad 2 won by Vietnam is understandable. I feel like Nomad 3 is in favor of Mexico personally.
Well, I will say my thoughts are Mexico is going to win this by 100,000.
Yeah, sure. Let's see. I do feel like Mexico definitely has a chance to win this pick. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they themselves were to pick this at some point.
However, if I get this prediction correct, I'll give away a official PSA squash ball. I have 2.
That's fair enough.
Fun facts with Unicorn Lover. Squash is actually more intense than tennis, and they burn more calories per hour.
That is a fun fact that I didn't know. Thank you.
And how do I know?
How do you know?
Because I play squash for fun, and that thing always leaves me tired after every match. And I've played tennis semi-seriously with others, and I've never been tired after it as well. So the facts line up with how I felt. You see, when you're playing squash, there's a lot of squatting and lunging, and then explosively getting yourself back up. But that is near here or now as we get in No More 3. So pretty much the same lineups, except Roller will be stepping in.
Yeah, we're also seeing some very early breaks on Roller and Muffin. This map's pretty long. This map's almost 3 minutes, 2:44. So these breaks might not matter too much in the grand scheme of things. Roller is not looking comfortable overall, though. And Vietnam, on the other hand, they look really comfortable. They have all of their combos, they have high accuracies on everyone so far.
See how this map plays out. I mean, it's still a decent sized map. They don't count it over yet, but Roller not finding any comfortability. And Chiliawa and Kevin finding breaks, but so does Aurora D.
That is a bad trade, as Muffin is on that 400 combo, but Electro Strike Llama pick Fuck You Pew. Fuck you boy. All on their FCs still not letting the score move from their side. 200k difference going into the first break. Not looking great for the side of Mexico here. As Muffin and Roller both miss once again, not able to hold their combos. And Vietnam's lead extends further and further as it slips from Mexico's grasp of any real chance to come back. Chiliawa and Muffin breaking once again.
I mean, just it's so much more comfortable and it's still 3 full combos. Electro Strike, Llama the Goat will find breaks, but I mean, look, there is no combos on the side of Mexico right now, so it doesn't matter much. One third of the map left.
There is still the FC from Pucky Ploy that is still just such a huge thorn in Mexico's side here. Aurora D as well on almost 500 combo approaching that line. That's just so hard for Mexico to really do anything against without combo, especially with Roller now being their highest combo. Llama is going to find another break. Muffin will trade it, but unfortunately Vietnam is just building up too much of a lead. Pucky Ploy is going to break, but that is an 800,000 score difference, and despite Roller Kevin building up some combos, it's not going to be enough, I fear.
Yeah, I mean, the overall strength from Vietnam on this pick has just been very strong. And this will be making it 4-2. Mexico have to be flawless from this point and win 3 in a row if they want to continue down the bracket. As my speech impediment comes back for a quick second. Yeah, basically any soft sounding vowel or like vowel sounds, just for some reason like to just not be pronounced correctly.
GG's. Anyways, so Vietnam is taking another point. Mexico now has their pick. Vietnam is guaranteed a tiebreaker at minimum if Mexico is to win the next 2 points, but they have to win on a pick from Vietnam, and Vietnam has some options. They do still have the Hard Rock 2 that I feel is biased towards Vietnam a little. They do seem like they'll be better on it, but seeing how this match has gone so far, I could be entirely wrong. I could be predicting this wrong. They could just not be comfortable on it or something.
You never know. I mean, somewhere deep down you like to believe you're correct, but
yeah, I mean, I do want to see a tiebreaker. Yeah, I want to see a tiebreaker on this match just because these teams are so close in skill, but Vietnam is just performing so well today.
I get Yazi as the ref right now. We are forcing this match to become a tiebreaker, and Hard Rock 2 will be picked.
You know, I've said this before, I feel like this is Vietnam bias, because it just happened. It's somewhat similar to the Hidden 2 No Mod 2. That's kind of just a hybrid of those two maps.
Well, who knows, maybe when it's finally the hybrid of both, Mexico can stand up and take it.
Could be the possibility. Mexico does still need to win one of Vietnam's picks. And maybe just picking the map is just more comfortable for them. Maybe they don't have anything else they want to play.
I mean, to be honest though, right? If you really think about it, this is probably like one of the last picks Vietnam would have as a really comfortable pick in the pool.
That is true.
So this is the angle that probably Mexico sees. Win your opponent's pick now.
Yeah, and if they do win, then Vietnam just doesn't have anything, do they?
Yeah, you can probably likely get the tiebreaker or answer the question now if tiebreaker is even possible by either winning this pick, which is probably your opponent's last strong pick, or lose it and know that you didn't have a chance at all. So there is comfort in both of those two things.
At the end of the day, only time will tell what will happen. We could see Mexico win this point. We could see them just go to tiebreaker and win the tiebreaker. As I don't believe there's been a tiebreaker this week, has there?
Yeah, no, that has not been a tiebreaker, has there? That is kind of sad.
Yeah, unfortunately there hasn't been one, so we can only hope that this is the match where we see it finally.
Go on, everyone. The pool has put so much effort into finding a tiebreaker.
And they don't even play it SMH.
And so here we are. Gonna start some monkey business. Don't know how the monkey got the gun.
You know, don't question the monkey.
The more you question the monkey, the more violent it gets.
Yeah, exactly. David and Arn are going to be trading breaks very early. This map's very short. This map's only 1 minute 40 drain. So those breaks are going to matter a lot. Chiliava breaks this one right before the short break. Lucky Boy and already.
That Davey, I mean, at the moment though, this is clear advantage for Mexico. I mean, this is what Mexico wants.
Yeah, Mexico is
things
looking
this game.
comfortable. I mean, with Mizan and Kevin holding those combos, especially Kevin with the, I believe, highest accuracy in the lobby by far. He's just holding the combo looking really comfortable, and Mexico has the advantage in this match for once, finally. And they will be able to probably bring this Hard Rock 2 home. That is going to be done.
Obsidian does go down, one of the full combos, but the Arm of the Goat also found the break, and Lucky Boy and Cleara. Kevin can just carry from here.
It feels like Kevin and Aurora are the only players who are really comfortable on this map, as everyone else just keeps on missing, not able to hold combo. We see a little bit of combo build up from Aaron, but it's just not enough to fight against the FC from Kevin, especially with the accuracies that are on board.
Kevin finds a break though, so Aurora has a chance.
Does he have enough accuracy and time is the question.
Yeah, I mean, it's very slim odds. I don't think it should be. And no, that won't be.
I mean, Aurora is bringing it back. If the map is just a little longer, if it goes on, it could go over, but it's not going to. And Mexico will be taking the Hard Rock too.
I mean, calling it as Vietnam's one of their last strongest picks. We'll have to see if they can prove us wrong here and find something.
Honestly, I have absolutely zero idea what they pick. I don't know. The Fremont one is an option, that is true. They could just try to hit in Hard Rock abuse. But they could also go into tiebreaker, could it not?
How this plays out.
They're taking their time. They're using a timeout here. They don't have a pick. I don't think they know what they can do here. Which is really good for Mexico because they could pick wrong or correct.
I just want to see how Vietnam wants to play this.
There are just so many things that can happen here. And you have Hard Rock 1 open. You have No Mod 1, you have No Mod 4. What else is open? Free Mod 1, DT1? And
Yeah.
none of those really sound like good options for Vietnam, if I'm being honest, besides the Free Mod 1. And even the Free Mod 1, I would say, might be a little risky, considering the Hidden 3, the Hidden Ult map, how that went.
Yeah, now trying to think of something to pick here. Mexico should be feeling good about themselves.
Yeah, I can imagine winning the Hard Rock 2 is a mental boost for Mexico as well, so whatever Vietnam picks here, Mexico could still easily win and bring us a tiebreaker. Wait, was No Mod 4 played? No, No Mod 4 has not been played. What? What is Jerry on about? Oh, okay, it just didn't show up. Okay, they picked No Mod 4, it just did not show up. So last pick is going to be No Mod 4, huh? Picking out almost the entire No Mod pool besides the No Mod 1, No Mod 5 being banned, and now it'll all come down to this. We've not seen a pure tech map in this match so far, so this could go either way.
Yeah, I've not seen Tech played, only seen Band actually.
Yeah, I mean, we have. I mean, I will say the Hidden 2, the Hard Rock 2 have some tech elements, and Hard Rock 2 went to Mexico, Hidden 2 went to Vietnam, so this could go either way if we're gonna base it off of those. But if not, it still goes either way because we've not seen a tech map, and I don't think either team is really much better than the other in tech.
Let me see how this all ends up playing out. Oh, they're definitely the most different pick from the rest. It's gonna make it ever more exciting.
And we are still waiting as both teams slowly ready up. I believe the timeout has ran out. Or, well, is about to anyway, very soon. And we may be seeing potentially the last map of this match, or a tiebreaker. Either one I am fine with. Although I would prefer tiebreaker, obviously.
I mean, considering it's 4 AM, I would kind of, like the match to be
Yeah.
over with.
I mean, a little out of topic of this match, but our other matches are Peru, Ukraine, Germany, Czechia, and Brazil, United Kingdom. Actually, Brazil, UK could be a tiebreaker match as well. But that is not for now as we go into the No Mod 4.
Actually, Davey, Kevin, and Roller will be in for Mexico. Aurora Du, Ghost Apple, Electro Strike, and Pucky Poi in for Vietnam. This is the final pick before either someone is crowned the winner or we go to tiebreaker.
This beginning is really easy to misread. We saw it earlier in the Philippines match, where Zaraki just misread this beginning and missed on nothing. It didn't matter because it's the Philippines, but either way, Chiliaba is going to be misreading, David Electro Strike misreading as well, Kevin breaks as well. Advantage is going to the side of Vietnam for now thanks to those breaks. David missing again.
so. He was ready for 2.5 minutes attack.
From the looks of it, Vietnam is they're looking very comfortable so far. Ghost Apple misses, Electro Strike, Pucky Pew holding those FCs, Chiala breaks as well, Roller Kevin, the highest combo on the side of Mexico. Aurora Dio breaks once more.
Yeah,
And the
one
Storm?
for the map done. Ghost Apple want to break Aurora as well. But Electro Strike and Pucky Boy are the main ones holding combo for Vietnam, but David Roller and Kevin are gonna actually eventually overturn that. No, not now, with Kevin finding a break.
Now it's just Roller and David on the side of Mexico who have any combo. Ghost Apple has missed, they don't have combo anymore there. David misses, so it's just Roller versus the double FC from Electro, well, almost FC from Electro Strike and Pucky Pew. And this is looking very bleak for Mexico here.
I mean, granted, this is a tech map after all, and it is in that more, I'd say, more organic slider tech, or heavy slider aim is what I'd call it. And, you know, these maps can be brutal as soon as you take your foot off the pedal. But,
Yeah, David breaks again. Roller has built up that combo, but it's just not enough. Kevin Apple trade break, but the Roller is just alone. He doesn't have the support, and he breaks.
A break. And Bancho is not saying psych right now. Electro Strike will find a break. But
It's just-
Boy,
Pucky Poi just on that FC is just so strong, and he is locking down the score. There's just so little time for Mexico to do anything, and he can't do anything at this point. Pucky Poi is just too strong. He does find a break, but Mexico has no combo. They have no combo, no accuracy, nothing to combat Vietnam with here. And as we end off the Nomad 4, we will not be seeing a tiebreaker, unfortunately. It's not a 5-1 like every other match so far has been today, at least. And Vietnam will be taking the victory over Mexico with a convincing 5-3 victory.
yeah, especially standing up strong at the end there, especially Pucky Boy. Finding some good performances to just really help bring the points over to his team. Mexico did try. They didn't go out in the night, but at least they tried to keep going.
Yeah, Mexico put up one hell of a fight, didn't let Vietnam walk all over them, managed to even take break point from Vietnam. But unfortunately it was too little, and Mexico will be losing, getting knocked out of the tournament, with Vietnam advancing to the quarterfinals next week in losers bracket.
So sadly, Mexico, the journey ends here in the round of 16. Good effort nonetheless. I mean, I believe, wasn't there like quite a few teams this year in qualifiers?
There was around, I believe, 60? I think 59 overall played qualifiers. So even qualifying is very impressive. Congratulations to Vietnam for winning the match. Mexico put up a really good fight. And yeah, that is going to be it from us. We will be seeing you guys in a few hours with what I believe is Czechia, Germany. No, Peru, Ukraine at 18 UTC. So in about an hour. So yeah, goodbye for now, everybody. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time.
Bye bye.